Hello and welcome. My name is Nilaus. This is episode 80 of my marathon automation campaign. And if you have not watched, please hang on. If you watched for a long time, maybe you've lost a bit of the overview. But if you haven't watched this from the first one, do not despair. This is a great place to catch up because I'll be spending this and generally every 10th episode primarily on giving a base review and sort of talking about what I have done and what my plans for the next episodes are. So this is a great opportunity for you to jump in if you have not. Whoa, that was very noisy. That I'm flying around this. So what is this campaign? This is Angels Mods. This is Bob Mods. It's Logistics Train Network. It used to be Advanced Autonomous Industries, but I phased it out because it was hogging all my UPS and it just prevented me from building a decent sized base. So what it is, you can see here, LTN is trying to manage my base for me, and you can see in the background, I have a lot of Angels, not petrochemical, Angels refining. Let me walk through the base, and we'll do that best from the map view. Let's jump out of the car because it's very noisy. Let's start with the overview. Here we are. This is the base. The idea of this base is, oh yeah, and one more thing. It's also playing on marathon mode. So every time, everything is 4 times as expensive. Not everything in Angels Mods, Bob Mods is tuned to it, but certainly some things are. And the science is definitely. So the idea of this is that I started out by having just a nice little normal base like this. A bus-based base. This is sort of my starting area. And then I walked up the bus, started creating like these small things, the usual things that you create, like basic electronics boards. A little mall here, very, very small, more like a corner shop, building very small components that we needed along the way to get the base up and running. And then I basically said, all right, good, I'm there. Now I need to get out in the world. And then I started crafting this base layout, which is kind of advanced, but it works surprisingly well, considering it was just dreamed up before I even started it. The idea of this is all trains are size 1 locomotive, 2 wagons. That's the one concept. The second concept is they will at no point intersect. That means you will, if you're going right somewhere, you will never ever come from the left lane and cross over. That means in order for, let's see here, these 2 lanes are actually heading in this direction. So they're heading from west towards east. And that means if you want to go out here on this track, you have to go from the inner track to the outer track. And if you want to go to something on the north, then you can't just cross over here. You have to do these X intersections, go up here, go in an X intersection, and go out. And the idea of this, the sort of the main structure, this outbound thing is as follows. Is this a good one to take? Yeah, this might as well. We have one that's more mature. Let's take this one instead. So we come here from the main line. The main line comes here. It'll go in on these 2 lanes. Basically, the idea is the inner lane is for stopping, the outer lane is for transport. Works brilliantly in 0.15, where each stop incurs a long penalty, so they will not start using these inner tracks for passage. They use the outer track for passage and then head in when they need to go. And they'll curve around and go back up the main track and onto the main track. Similarly, so that's outbound. Similarly, on this track, they'll service this. So this one can only be serviced heading towards the base, while the other one can only be serviced heading into the base, away from it. And what down here we have, this is what I call a depot. This services sort of the radiant out here of materials. So the idea is that all of the materials are outside here. They'll be brought in. For example, these were brought in. I'll just take a better example, like up here. So we have a little patch. We're using Angels Logistics. All these are put in boxes. Angels Logistics, they don't bother working. They're on strike. It's when coming in with coal. These carry 200 a piece, but they're kind of slow. So they fill up the boxes in here, and these boxes and then make it available to the network. So this one, for example, that's probably what it provides to the network. It provides 200,000 coal to the network. The second one is also providing 200,000 saffrite ore, and that's just the way it is. And that means any train or any station. Let's look at the inbound stations, such as this one for chemistry. So in here we have these stations. This is set up with Logistics Train Network. You can see this one, if you look at the right hand side, it requests 10,000 plastic and 20,000 lead. And that's what we have, more or less. not quite. So this one is actually, if we look at this one, it says, I would like a bit more plastic and a bit more lead, but the threshold is actually set to 10. It should be set to 5. I'll fix it while we're here. I mean, it's not a base view. This is just there, right? So when it gets about 5,000, then it'll say, give me some more. Come on, give it to me. Also works for liquids. All liquids are processed here. And that means I have a district. This is what I call a district. That has a certain theme to it. This is chemistry. So we have, well, at this point, batteries. We have coal, coke, carbon, a bit of oxygen, though it's not barreled, and then a lot of sulfuric acid. This was primarily made for making sulfuric acid to batteries. The batteries are then provided out here into the network, where they're made available for the train station. That little thing. If you're wondering what I'm doing here and why I'm not anywhere near, I'm using Factorio Reach in order to reach all over the map. That's kind of necessary if I don't want to spend all my time just traveling around. I don't know, it's not necessary, but it makes it a lot more convenient building such a distributed base. And there is a trick that's a bug, but I love it. That if you have something on hand, you can click on a box and then it opens the interface. Otherwise, if you're too far away outside of your normal reach, you cannot open things. Well, electric network you can. So that's that part. Let's walk through the districts in sequence. The first district I built is this monster here. This is still belt based. I'm transitioning everything over to be robot based because belts are actually going to hog a lot of my updates, and I want to be able to build big, so I have to build efficient. Now I don't have many trains running around because that's all controlled by Logistics train network. Those are the commands you see down here. And this one is quite active. This is feeding a lot of saffrite, givolite, and stereotype and coke into here and lime. So it goes in here. Let's follow the saffrite. Goes in, gets crushed. The crushed stone becomes normal stone, and then goes into boxes, gets fed back into the belt, gets combined with, over here we have the givolite going through the same procedure. It becomes, residual becomes landfill that goes into the network. Givolite and the givolite and saffrite are combined into magical iron ore. Iron ore, it goes into the network because I might need that very soon. And then it goes back. And then we also, in this one, this is where it should have been built by robots, but nevertheless, it goes in through the chemical process or the smelting process to be refined and be more efficient into ingots. Ingots are then crafted here in this array into a lot of that's called iron plate. Yeah, fancy that. And also steel plate as well. And over on the other side, we do the same for copper. So we are having a very efficient setup for copper, except for the fact that we're using way too many belts. And that is feeding everything with copper and iron and steel quite efficiently. Second one is my science. It started out with just a small thing. This is all scaled towards 5 per second. In normalized, because we still have these 0.75 machines everywhere. So we have the red science, the green science. Actually, is that so? How many do we have? No, it's scaled towards 10. Ugh. 10 per second? 30, yep. No, it's 5. 5 per second. Yeah, it is 5 per second. And then these two are easy because it's not that much we need here. But where it really gets dicey is for the military science. One thing I should mention, I've killed all biters. I don't bother with biters. It's this is about building, so I didn't bother. I can just say it that simple. I didn't bother. So sue me. Oh, well, actually don't. And this is the stupid one that requires like an infinite amount of crap in order to build it. Luckily, this is standing still most of the time because I'm not building science. And they have the blue science. The blue science is not operational because I don't have the electronic circuit boards. Electronic circuit boards, yes. Don't have that mass produced. I have it sort of in a small custom production. Then we have the next one, District 3 Electronics. This is only recently coming online. Switched up to the bigger. Let's here I'm making the principle that I only want 4 machines for everything. I want to upgrade to the best damn machines I can get. And then I'm going to make room for beacons on the sides. So this will be pretty damn massive. This will be my most effective or most active one. And it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. It's currently just struggling to keep up with demands on the basic electronics board because I've recently set up machines and said, hey, give me 10,000 of those, which means 20,000 used to this setup. So 10,000 in each, 20,000. I want to provide 20,000 to the network. It's a bit much. And this one will continue to tech towards the electronic circuit boards, which I already have. Where I'm stuck in this one, in terms of the electronic circuit boards, I have now the phenolic boards here, though I do have an issue when it comes to wood, because that's been nerfed somehow. I need to make the circuit boards. Circuit boards require the ferric chloride solution. And then lastly, over here, we have the basic electronic components, not a problem. Transistors, not a problem. And solder, not a problem. So basically, it's the ferric chloride that we need, and then we can start mass producing this. Would be nice. And then we can get the blue science really up and running. So that was number 4. Number 4 is chemistry. I have this setup here that is built, is producing coke, which I thought I would have plenty of, but I used it to fuel my stupid power supply thing. However, it is it's running out because I actually built it towards catering for a lot of sulfuric acid, but now I'm just way overstacked on the sulfuric acid. You can see here a full stack of that. You can see here, if you just look in the network to the right hand side, 18,000 barrels plus, I don't know, to 1,000, so that's 20,000 barrels of sulfuric acid. I think I have enough. What I've also built, this is just to generate oxygen. Up here I have some new processes that I really like. This is like my favorite Angels process. That's very noisy. You take 5 coal in and you get 6 coke, 50 hydrogen sulfide, but don't tell Angel. Please don't tell him, because then he'll nerf it. This is something that's good and easy in his mod, so don't tell him, and this is just be our secret. And I even get benzene gas. That's nice, not right now, but it'll be very nice for plastic. Methane gas as well, also very nice for plastic. So very, very nice. And I'm also have creating a carbon setup. I actually like this carbon setup. It's idle now because my carbon is full. And I also have another one because, hey, I love this process and I need a lot of coke. Also, the base needs a lot of coke. Let's move on to the next base. Next base, very idle. This is a production. Actually, no, it's not. 5. This one is called tin, lead, and bronze. I'll also be crafting brass and all the other gunmetal and electrum and all the weird metals of Bob's mod in here. This one needs to be converted into robots. You can still see the beauty that is belts. I love using belts, but it doesn't scale. So developers, get your act together, start fixing it so we can build big monstrous belt-based bases. Belt-based bases. That should be a name of once 016 hits, you heard it here first. I'm gonna make a series called Belt-Based Base. Belt-Based Base. Yes. That would be fun. No robots of any kind, just lots and lots of spaghetti. Really nice colored spaghetti like this. Anyway, that was number 6 is quite idle. This is only producing the engines. The engines are used for the blue science. That's why I created it. Number 7 is not there. Number 7, that's actually one of those that I'm really proud of. This has been a very recent addition. This is petrochemicals. And you can see the way it works is I get the multi-phase oil in, I crack it. I get the natural gas in, I crack it. And then I take the crude oil and the condensates and refine it. I take the raw gas and I refine it so that I have like more high value products. And then I take the natural gas liquids that I have now refined. That's where I start cracking that into different organic chemistry components like methane, ethane, and butane. And the methane, ethane, butane, I take the methane here, mix it into methanol. The methanol. What am I building here? Seriously? Ah, yeah, I'm building methane. This one is making propene, isn't it? Yeah, it's methane to propene. And whoa, they're not being picked up. Is that because no, I'm not running out of storage. I'm running out of robots here. Are they all busy though, the robots? Yes, they are. That's crazy. Need to throw more robots in. Let's do that after us. And here, the reason I make propane goes in here and becomes wonderful, beautiful plastic. Not enough, but this is just plastic one. This is all the plastic I really can afford to make at this point. Let's throw in some more robots. Last one is one that I've made ready. This is sorting. This is going to be the next project that we'll be starting. It's been sorting. Unfortunately, this is in the middle of our oil thing here, which is hugely efficient. So that's very nice. That's just so much. I mean, once you don't really need to tap like a few with Angel's petrochemicals. It's just really crazy efficient. Now, what did I say? I wanted robots. I have robots up here. Again, pick up an item. You can go into the box, pick up 50, zoom out, move up here, and in there. And then again, you can do it on any item. You can open it, and there. And they spread out. That's all 100. Wow, that's crazy. Is that... Oh, it's not even keeping up here. So this one is kind of critical because this is the one that crafts barrels. It just has to go all the time, again and again. This one, little one, is taking oil residuals and making it into residual gas. I need residuals. I think I have a lot of residuals. All right, really? It's a lot. Why is it not working? I got water? I don't have anything here. Oh, that's because it's being delivered right now. That's actually not very efficient. Considering these robots take one stack that consists of 200, and it's not very efficient way of doing this. And I wanted to... Now it's not delivering anything. It's only delivering 3. Interesting. But the robots, that must be because the robots are just too busy. I don't know what they're doing, those robots. Yeah, there must be a big stockpile of things that have been accrued. But these ones are finally... See, raw wood, major problem. The plastic, it's just not enough. It's just not enough. So I need to scale up on the plastic, and in order to scale up on plastic, I need to scale up on the methanol or the propane that needs methanol. The methanol needs methane. Well, the methane is... There's nothing in my logistics network here, if I can see correctly. Oof, I can't. Let's find the right... Ah, crap. I wish I could call these something more meaningful. Well, I can also just hit it first try. See, I have 9 methane barrels. That's not much. Propane gas is also what I'm being consumed here. But I have a lot of ethane that can be made into ethanol. No, polyethylene. Polyethylene? Something like that. And butane can make into benzene. That can be made into something else, formaldehyde, I think. And that's again another way. But I do have in the network, so we can actually do that. Let's just give it a go on how to manage this. Because we are creating methane. We're creating that in our secret recipe that we don't tell Angel about. We are creating quite a bit of methane. And the question is, should I bring the methane here? Because this is actually petrochemicals, and I don't know. I'll build it here. So, jump out. This one is 1000. This one's not requesting anything, so we set 1000. Then I'll say, hey, gee, I wonder if anyone has some methane in liquid form. Let's request 2000. 1280. The reason why it's 1280 is because that's the maximum that can be on a train. So once this goes in, let's actually monitor this as it goes up. And the coke is nice. It's good to see coke. Let's from the map, while we wait for the train to come in, let's have a look at one of the other issues I have here. Now let's start from this location. This is all full. That's nice. But if we look at it, I'm starting to get coal in here on the lines. That's not good because this is not keeping up. And that means I'm just filling it up with coal because, hey, I'm desperate. I'm not sure coal will even feed, even 2 belts will not be able to feed it fast enough. So I'm in serious issues when it comes to power, and all I do is just throw on more power. I need to transition into solar. So while we wait, while we look at this train coming in, have a look at it. Where are you? Oh, you're actually en route already. Should be seeing it coming in. You can see the signal changed. And here it is. 1,280 barrels of methane. That should be well regarded. You can see how much is being picked up already. I mean, they are just coming in like hounds to a feast. Yay! Oh, they go. Go, 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 go. Into my flying cargo ship. Love this one. It's nice and fast, and it's I can move around everywhere. There. Now it starts feeding, and you can see these. All of them are burning. Nice. And now it's sort of goes the other direction and goes into the barrels again. And that's that will then start these ones up. Now you can see, now we finally start some methanol. Methanol, yes. What I could be building here is, I guess up here, some residual gas, I guess. Actually, no. Because residual gas is not something that really links to me. So you can see that will increase our plastic demand, and it'll also take some up. Now I need to go up to, this is a logistics train network stop. It's good to see that it's idle most of the time. So if it isn't, that means I need to build more. That's the whole idea, is to use these kind of reserve spaces here for train stackers. This one is kind of empty, or maybe I just haven't put some trains on them. And we go all the way up to my... See, most of the space is empty, and I've just taken this beautiful pink color. Thank you, Angel, because clay bricks are somehow pink. Now what I want to do here is actually say, how about we start by requesting things? I'll need to make hydrogen chloride gas. Because I need it for ferric chloride. I need hydrogen chloride gas. Then we need hydrogen chloride gas. I'm not sure I can make it, but I can just start it. Hydrogen chloride gas requires hydrogen chloride. Boohoo. Price in even amounts. And that requires saline gas is the easiest way to get it. There are other ways. That's separating it. No, but that's the one I want. This one. So in order for me to do that, I need one of these train stations. Why? Use the damn flying machine when you have it. Jump in. No barrels. No empty barrels. That's a sad thing. So that one is empty barrels. How many empty barrels? I'll just take one more. So here I'll request minus 2000. No, that's not a signal. There. I'll go saline water. And I'll request 2000 barrels. Get 1200. What? Okay. I guess we're not going to make that now, but that is a mistake. There's no station supplying saline water. That is not true. This one has like 5000 saline water. So you just get on with it. There must be a problem with it. Oh, I don't think it's actually hooked up to the logistics train network, but I know I produced a lot of it because I knew I was going to use a lot. So here, that thing, it is. It says it's in the network. Why is it not going in? Seriously? This saline water barrel. You gotta be kidding me. No station supplying saline water found. That's not true. And I know this one is being used because the water is being consumed by other places. Ah, nice barrels. That is absolutely crazy. Do not start debugging those crazy things here. And I just want to look through it and see. This stop has a green wire going up here. So that has a yellow one. Where are you going? What are you picking? You're picking up water barrels. So it clearly works, this station, right? This works. Saline water barrel. Did I choose something wrong up here? Must have. Oh. Hello. That looks... Oh, that's purified. Ah, right. Okay. Sorry, you should have said that. You should have, hey, you're not requesting the barrels, you're requesting the items. Saline water barrel. Minus 2000. Bleep bleep. 1208 in saline water barrels. Awesome. Right. Then we got a trip down to this location. Just requested some more water. This is filling up. I love this LTN setup. I mean, I can watch for hours, and sometimes I do. Just as the base grows bigger, just seeing things just bouncing back and forth, and then you see these commands, you're like, no natural gas barrel. Okay, that means all the natural gas is being consumed. Okay, that should also be an indicator for something else. It also means that anything inside a district, I don't get a notification if something is missing, but anything inside that drags things in. For example, if I know that there's no natural gas, jump out. That also to me says, all right, what about the products coming from the natural gas, like here? So I'm not getting any natural gas. That means I'm not getting anything here. That means I'm not getting condensates, which means that this one shouldn't be running because I'm missing condensates. See? Missing condensates, not running. That's a problem. So how about, why are we not getting anything? And I have this guy up here. You are producing. You're just starting to slow down. 31. That's not so fast. How many barrels? That's multi-phase oil. I have 231. How much is provided to the network? That's the empty barrels. So that's because I only have 458 barrels of the natural gas. While the multi-phase oil is working, and I immediately take more multi-phase oil. That to me kind of indicates that maybe down here, I could do something wicked. If I change this one to being just a pure one, then I'll start consuming some of the other materials. Right. Until we accrue some more. Yeah. So now it's at least kickstarted again. It's less efficient. This recipe, how is it actually doing? It's getting, well, it's getting 10 in. Oh, 100 crude oil in, and it's getting 100 items out, plus a bit of oil residuals. That's a good thing. That's still 1 in, 1 out. 10 in, 10 out. The other recipe, it's just, that doesn't matter what time I choose it. It's going to lose it anyway. This one, oh, that was the one I used. This is just using a hell of a lot less crude oil and much more condensate. So that means I need to cap more non-natural gas in order to support that. That's good. That's good. I could do some really advanced logic. Or actually, I could just build one column for this and one column for the other. And then basically said, if the number of barrels of condensate is less than 100, for example, then start up this process. Otherwise, just keep this process alive. But anyway, I mean, I want to produce, so let's keep this going. And that actually was a pretty good overview in my opinion. So if you haven't kept up with this episode, what it's called? It's called a series or campaign. Then by all means, I hope you will join me as we progress the base. I'm really liking it. It's very structured, very organized, especially considering it's Angel Bobs and Marathon at the same time. So we'll be continue working, and I hope you enjoyed it. So thank you very much for joining, and I'll see you next time, where we'll be building new stuff. Yeah, thank you. Cheers.